Funky goes behind the microphone. And he stood there. Believe me, this was a one take.
Wow.
That take there is the first and the last
one. And the only take.
And the one and only. Mfana, your song is playing here on a radio station that ebapalang the mainstream.
Wow, pop.
Yeah. Ebapalang the mainstream.
You were played with everybody else.
And Harari play listed.
Char.
King David Studio Podcast.
We come across legends in our lives, people who have made a contribution to our history. Very often we tend to forget about them or we don't acknowledge them the way we're supposed to. It's one of human beings' biggest problems or challenges that we have. We don't approve and rather acknowledge gold while we still have it in the house. I know when I was young, chesi, it's not such a big deal until there's no money. Then you realize that, damn it, we should have enjoyed that cheese when we have it. Absolutely. And right now in the studio, we have that Alec Khaoli. Is it Khaoli or Khaoli?
Khaoli.
Kesesotho. Yeah, now everybody knows Sotho. Because the D and the L said in a lot of man. How are you though today?
I'm good. I'm really good.
I'm glad you made it to speak to us. What name did your parents give you?
Yeah, good. My parents called me Monapule.
Monapule.
Because I was born on a rainy day.
Okay. Yeah. So Mapule out.
Yeah, out.
Yes.
It was the 5th of November on a Guy Fawkes Day.
Wow. So you're a joke as well.
So yeah, okay. Lelinki Mulifi.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my parents called me Mulifi.
Yeah.
Mulifi Monapule.
And the name that became your stage name, where does it come from?
Was a name created with the Peters.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the band that I was playing for before. Yeah.
Livo Brasipo.
Yeah, Livo Sipo, yeah. We started doing body yoga and then remeditate on that stuff. And I remember the name came about. Meditation, mantra, meditation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Transcendental meditation gives you a mantra. Yes. And mantra is a word that's not familiar to your brain.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Initially, although it also was derived from my name Mulifi.
Okay.
Limonapule, it was MOMO. So I think of old fella.
Jeez. Marlena, cool, man. Right from the beginning.
Okay.
Because you look at, there's a picture of yours. You know what, we'll talk later about the fashion. Because there's a picture of yours where you're wearing, you're on stage performing, and you're wearing a cricket shin guard. A1 on the right. But this guy is cool. You're wearing white shirt, white pants, and a shin guard. Yeah. Cricket. Or look at that. It looks so cool.
It did look cool. It did look cool. Yeah.
Even now, if I was to do that, people would think, "Hey, man, he looks different." So I want to talk about where you grew up. Where were you born?
I was born in Pimville. Yeah, 1381 Vabaza Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I bet you the house is still there.
That was not anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But I think you can still trace the address. You can still, it's somewhere next to the clinic. That's where the clinic is now.
Yeah.
It's somewhere there. So yeah, I was born there, Pimville.
Yeah, and, down the road from here.
Yeah. I grew up there in the mud.
Are you a typical, and I say typical, I know a lot of people say, what is a typical? Are you a typical Soweto guy? Soweto guys, they know it all. Clever, I see bad. Are you a typical Soweto guy?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
I would say yes. And I would say yes, because I grew up there. And when I was 6, then I was taken to Free State to my grandparents to live with them.
Yeah. What was the reason for that?
I don't actually know. I never got to know what the reason was.
Maybe no less told. They wanted to remove you from.
It's unlikely that I could have been given stoned or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
you were not that kind of child.
No, I was not that kind
Then
of
tell us what type of child you were.
Hey, I was like just a very straight dude, you know.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. I liked straight things, and I like to copy people. I used to enjoy emulating people who are doing things the so-called perfect way.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I used to like that. Yeah, I used to like formality and things like that.
No, no, titels are boring. Titels are boring, basically. No, no, titels are boring. Man.
Yeah. But no. I did have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I think I told me about that. Well, the thing is, I think I was very sociable at that time.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with a lot of friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to touch on the family setup when you were born. Who was home? Mommy, daddy, and who else? Was it a big family?
I don't have much recollection of that.
Yeah, you were too young.
I was still very young.
Yeah. And your Free State experience now.
That's where actually I was shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically because my grandparents were like church-going people.
Okay.
Yeah. And then not just but like they used to be like but what's in the tulo teko dim ko kerekeng.
Yeah.
What?
But deacon, they have names. Here's a deacon. So you were in the royalty of the church.
Absolutely, and I was a church bell ringer. So honest, every church service, starting Sunday school, 9:30, I ring the bell.
You would be the timekeeper.
I keep 11 o'clock. Church starts. The main church starts. I ring the bell.
Wow.
Afternoon church again, 2 o'clock. In the afternoon, I ring the bell.
Yeah.
So that was me.
You seem to have fond memories of that experience. You seem to. It seems like you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And it's something that you nostalgic because it's like you can never go back there.
Yeah, that's true.
You can never go back there. It was just one unique moment in time. Which when you revisit, you feel a different place altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time, the TV it's entertaining, but so people would have to entertain themselves in whichever way they can.
The church was also one of those places.
The church was one of the places where you for recreation as well.
Is that where music was introduced to you?
Yes, absolutely. Every evening, my family, grandparents, and my adopted, I lived with my grandparents used to adopt other kids.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up with them. They would be singing gospel songs, hymns, and things like that. And it would be great. And my grandfather used to sing baritone. He had such a big voice. You know, when he sings, you feel your chest going like... And I used to love that. And I think, hey, listen to this guy's voice. It makes me move inside, you know.
He brought basically, he personified the word of the Lord.
Yes.
Because then you need to be moved.
Yes, that was a vibration inside. And I fell in love with just baritone. You know? Baritone bass, you know. Yeah, so that is why I think that influenced me.
That's what happened, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what influenced me to playing bass guitar. Because when we decided as a band, what are you going to play? And I said, no, I want to play bass. And I didn't even have a bass guitar.
You could have chosen anything.
I could have chosen anything.
Yeah.
Could have been, because I used to play guitar, guitar. I used to be able to play guitar at the time.
How were you introduced to the instruments? Because they became such a big part of your life. But how did that come about? I know of people who picked up a kotia pen and started drumming on it. What was it for you?
That was me. We used to make them up. 5 liter. My first guitar, I made it up 5 liter
oil, because they used to come in
a tin
in
form.
A tin, yes.
In a tin form, yeah. So I would knock it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would I would actually open the top of it, and then make it clip saw together so that it's like triangular. And then I would put the strings, tubes,
Okay, yes.
and motor car tires, tire
yes,
tubes,
of course,
those tubes.
Yeah.
I would cut them into strings, and
Very
put them
thin, very thin. Yeah.
and different sizes, and then you wrap them around that thing, and then you've got strings, and then you could play like this.
It's amazing.
And then you make a song. I need to be so nice.
And it's amazing how you had the genius to even think this is an instrument.
Absolutely, and it didn't even look like a guitar.
Wow.
You know, I didn't. Even to call it a guitar, I think it's not accurate. It's not what it was called.
But it made a sound.
And
it
like
had different notes as well.
And I promise you, even today, if you take that instrument and you play it, and actually you just gave me an idea, I'll do that. I'll do that again. There is nothing that sounds like it.
Yeah. So it's a unique sound.
It is unique, and it is amazing.
Yeah.
It is an amazing sound with the harmonics. You listen to the notes of that thing, and you hear when one string gives you a lot of notes. You can actually hear harmonies.
Wow.
You know, as you play that one note on that instrument, it's just an amazing instrument.
Well, there you go. Poverty is always not such a terrible thing because it makes people come up with genius solutions.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's really what happened. So was that the first one you created and picked up as an instrument?
Yeah, that was the first one. And, all the friends of my grandma, they would say, ngwana hao why do you ngwana hao bapala katara?
Batho.
Katara ke ntho ya Satane.
Yo. Ba batla ho bapaleng na?
And I had such an amazing grandmother, and she would tell them, listen, o ka rorisa modimo ka eng kapa ka eng.
Yeah.
Because it's all about God. If you play music, you play music for God, and you can use anything.
Yeah.
So that is why
she was open-minded.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
And she even prophesied to me that one day you're going to be traveling the world.
Jeez.
He's going to be traveling the world. And he was telling his friends. She was telling her friends.
Yeah.
He said he's going to be traveling the world and he's going to be making music.
So she saw that and you were a little boy.
She saw that when I was a little boy. I never forget that.
That's incredible.
She did.
Yeah.
She really did.
And your life is a reflection of exactly what she said.
Absolutely. Every time when I found myself in other countries overseas, I used to think back to what she said, and I said, really, this happened now. It's happening now.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you studying a band as kids, the formation of the artists that we're looking at today, from that very early age with that guitar, when is the moment where you realize that maybe this music thing is what I can do?
Okay, at that time, I think I must have been 6.
Yeah.
And that's when I was really, really engulfed.
Wow.
Totally.
And because that's a very tender age.
Yeah. All what mattered to me was music.
Jeez.
I would go for anything. At the time, even radio. At the time when I was 6, radio in South Africa was only playing for 30 minutes.
Jeez.
For Radio Bantu.
Yes.
It was only playing for 30 minutes from 9:30 to 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was only one radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in the because I've heard of stories later on where it started playing in the evenings and all of that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only time that you had to listen to this thing.
Yes. I wouldn't miss it. And then as it went on and on and on and on, and I was at high school, and then there was transistor radios,
which
which gave you the freedom to listen to whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go and play outside, listen to it in the garden outside.
Exactly.
And then you choose whatever.
Unlike before, you had to be in the house.
You had to sit with everybody and like what they're liking there.
and accept it for what it was.
And accept it for what it was.
Wow. What music was playing on the radio at the time? What do you remember?
That time, there was Elvis Presley.
Okay.
Hey, also there were guys from South Africa from here, from home, Bo Brasello.
Okay.
Bo Brasello, they were playing Bakanga,
And that music was allowed to be played because remember, it was a troubled time.
Yes. And it was during the time Yabo Boy Masaka. It's a very, very long time ago.
It is. These are not even these are the 50s.
Yeah, those guys, they were like magic to us. I mean, I couldn't believe that people could make things like that.
And they are inside this box.
And you think how? Sometimes we even try to look inside the box to see if we can find some people there.
Sitting there playing music. Wow.
Yeah.
And all this introduced in the Free State, not even in your life was made not in Johannesburg.
No,
for me,
no,
that's such an interesting part of your story.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where it all started for me.
Do you think you would have, and I know hindsight is such a tricky thing, had you been in Johannesburg, do you think that would have happened? Probably not.
I think it would.
You think so?
I think it would because when I came here, when I arrived here, actually before I left here, there was a thing called Radio Fusion.
Okay.
It was just a little box, and then maybe with a speaker behind it.
Yeah.
And then it's all wired up to the office, to the superintendent's office somewhere.
Okay, somewhere.
Yeah,
in Johannesburg.
Local municipality somewhere. Yeah, and then it's wired to there, and there they are receiving it from the Radio Bantu from SABC.
Yeah,
and then they're broadcasting from that.
Wow.
And then every house go at City Jabavu. We used to have that
receiver.
That receiver there. At 6 o'clock, you don't switch it off. You don't switch it on. It stays on all the time. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, you'll just hear go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And then it's on now.
It's the radio is started.
Yeah.
Yes.
The radio started.
Oh, so it stayed, there was no audio, but it was on.
It was on at all times.
So then suddenly there was a sound.
And then suddenly when it comes alive, it's on and everyone is listening.
I didn't know that, I must tell you. Because clearly that's an apartheid way of communicating. Because the Afrikaner needed to tell you something.
Yes, they had to They had to use that same medium.
Exactly.
That is why later on they decided to use that to separate people.
That's it.
And then they would have Radio Zulu, Radio Xhosa, Radio Setswana,
Radio Leboa,
and so on and so on and so on. So that you mustn't communicate together. I mean, everybody must have it in their language.
Jeez.
So,
I'm curious more, Alec, the first time you were part of a music formation, or you were singing. What was that? Who were those people, and why those people at the time?
When I finished Standard 6 Kozastron, then I came back to Joburg.
Okay.
And then I was at Deep Kloof High School.
Yeah.
Madibani. It was called Deep Kloof Secondary School.
Yes.
Madibani High School.
That's what it is now.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. I was there, and when I got there, Kadula more desk in the late Selvin Tuli. And we discovered that we both had this love for music.
Yeah.
And we used to be singing pop songs at the radio station.
Beating the desk.
And then to the shapa desk, the drums, and and then singing the tunes. And then sometimes we would forget but we're disturbing other kids come out last year. And then prefectly these were the noisemakers during the study time.
Of course.
Yeah,
You were one of those, eh?
So we were one of those, and and then his brother, Selvin Tuli's brother, they had this band called the Beaters.
Yeah.
In Edibona, the Beaters, not Ronald Bitola, the Beaters really inherited
from them, yeah.
From them, yeah.
You were the new Beaters, not the original.
Not the
Beaters.
original Beaters.
Yes.
So, and then they went. Kuda Selby's brother went to high school. I mean to university.
Yeah.
And then Rona Asia Katara Kohai. But no, we can't take your guitar with.
Get to school.
The father was very strict.
Yeah.
That no, you must leave the guitar home.
Yeah.
Because that's about Katara too much.
And not focus.
And he's supposed to go and be a doctor, this guy.
Jeez.
So, yeah. So Ronache, then he took over the guitar, and then we inherited the name as well. We called ourselves the Beaters.
Might as well. Like, they are not here. We might as well take everything.
Take over.
Wow. But you were not trained musicians. You were just tinkering with these things.
No. The music was just in the spirit, in the heart.
That's what it was, yeah.
So,
how successful was the original Beaters, so to speak? What were they doing? Were they performing?
No, actually, the Beaters started at school, and then we became a high school band.
Yes. No, before Luna, you took over.
Oh, you mean the Beatles?
No, the Beaters.
The Beaters, the Beaters, the original
the older
guys.
brother, yes.
No, I don't think they went anywhere.
Yeah.
They just went as far as practicing together and
that's it.
Yeah, no.
So you are the guys that gave the Beaters real meaning.
No, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Wow. And what music? Who were the guys in the first band? Yeah, Luna. Besides the younger brother.
Okay, in the original Beaters.
No. The original Beaters.
In the original Beaters, it was Selvin Tuli's brother, and then Monty Demande's brother.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, they together with another guy, Barki Busimko.
Yeah.
They were the Beaters. Yeah. But then when the other guys went to university, when Selby's brother went to university, Monty Demande's brother, his brother, also quit, completely. Yeah. He also gave Saitana the drum. The Monty demanded the guitar.
Yeah, you can do it. I'm done here. Eh? Wow.
Yeah. So
you just literally inherited this.
Everything it just fell into place. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then the Beaters, we were doing a fundraising concert at Orlando West High School, and the principal said, hey, anyone, only talented, I want you guys to,
come and show off.
Yeah, come and do your thing. And then we're raising funds here, So we're making a school concert. So we came Rona here. And then Rafi Lamo, the electric guitar too. Rafi Lamo electric guitar too, more staging.
Yeah, but
and we were playing.
Did the music make any sense?
No, it was nice. It was good. Yeah,
yes.
we were imitating songs that we were hearing on the radio. Yeah,
Which song comes to mind when you think of those songs that you were imitating?
There was a song called "Love Is All Around Us."
Yeah,
that's how the feeling goes.
Whose song was it?
It was a pop hit, and at the time it was like, I think #1 spot on the hit parade. Yeah.
Wow. And that's the song you went with.
And then and then we the Beatles songs, Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we would do those kind of songs and the kids went crazy.
Of course.
The kids went crazy and everybody was like, the following day we were superstars.
Of course. After that, you can do anything. You want to go to stand at 4? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually at that time we were in the grade 11.
Yes, you were in high school already.
High school. We used to call it Form 4.
Form 4, yes. Just before the last one.
Just before the last one.
Hopefully, and I'm glad it didn't go to the head, that fame.
It did.
Oh, no. I'm a positive guy. That's why I saw it. I saw the positive side of this. So tell me, how did it go to the head?
No, you know what? Okay. I had a few problems personally. I had a few problems.
Yeah.
You know, I was beginning to struggle with some books. We could not afford this book and that book, you know, at that time. So it was frustrating me because the previous class I passed it with a distinction.
Yes.
And I was an A1 student.
Jeez.
And so I was not getting books, and I was getting frustrated.
It was finances go high,
and the teachers were not taking kindly to this.
Yeah.
And they would say, hey, listen here, you know, matric is not matras. Matric is not matras.
Yeah, they said that 50 years ago.
Yeah. You know, they say, hey, you have to read here.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And I used to get so frustrated.
Jeez.
But then when fortunately, it was not me who said, guys, let's quit school. You know, we just started to get popular at school, and the guys started to feel like music is playing all the time in their heads, more than the time it should be. You
more
know,
than books.
Even during school hours, you know, it's just like music. You know, and and one day we decided to bunk.
Yeah, but.
And we bunked and then
more days.
Then we were scared to go back.
Yeah, because you couldn't go back all of a sudden.
We missed out so much, and we thought, hey, and you know, remember, matric is not matras, you know.
Were the parents aware of this peer pressure you were going through?
No, they were not.
So you would leave the house.
We would dress up in the morning and then drink 20 cents ale.
Yeah,
lunch ale. Put it in the pocket. Look at the chips later on.
And go spend the day with the guys.
We spend the day with the guys.
But what were you doing with that time? Rehearsing?
Yes.
Yeah.
We would go and rehearse.
Let's do plain. Did the parents ever find out this last darkness?
The parents found out when they found out it was too late.
Jeez.
Because we told them now it is impossible to make up for this time.
Was it years later or months later? Because remember,
months later.
Yeah, because matric has you have to finish it.
Yeah,
and then the results have to come out.
Yeah, no, months later.
Yeah. Bana batshaba school.
That's our school, and that it was not a good thing.
No,
more especially for now, because now everybody. More family yang kane batsa bona hey mulifi yo ke sta mfano le ko skolo. Yeah. So imagine,
little did they know
now music is taking over. Yeah.
Who was in the band? Who were you with? This peer pressure. Who were the members then?
At the time it was Selbin Tuldi. Sipo had already joined us.
Yeah.
It was Selbin Tuldi, Saitana. We used to call him Saitana, but his name is Monty.
Okay.
It was myself, Selbin Tuldi, Monty, and Sipo.
And Sipo.
It was just the four of us.
Jeez. Now the real beaters, they decide, because the other ones, they're gone. The real beaters now become superstars. Didn't the guys come back to want to claim their name now that it's famous?
No, they were actually very happy that we've done something with it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And more especially because even whilst they were at varsity, we would be called to come and perform at varsity. Wow. You know, we would go to varsity. We started touring varsities now. You know.
That's amazing. And none of you had formal musical training.
No.
You were just tinkering with the instruments and they made sense.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's actually quite something worth acknowledging for a second, to say a passion was so strong that you didn't need anyone to show you how to do it.
Exactly. It was just passion driven.
Yeah.
The whole thing. The whole thing.
And when the parents find out, what happens? That can be a good story.
No, when they found out, hey, Mulifi, I'm just high school.
I can't imagine you going through that as a parent.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, so, well, they had to accept. We told them, we can't go back.
That's amazing.
We are not going back.
And you were still young, though. Yeah, you were still below 20.
Yeah, you know, and you know how that can be. You know, it's so uncomfortable.
As a parent,
in the home, yeah, very, very uncomfortable.
Did it make the parents angry at you to a point where you just, because it's easy to become an outcast in moments like that? Or time out kwatile.
No, we were not outcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sort of embraced us somehow. I don't know how it happened.
The music must have been good.
Yes, the music was good, and they could hear everywhere, newspapers, front pages and stuff like that,
Yeah, well, these
And
boys.
they could see, they could see, these guys are doing something we don't know about.
And it's working.
And it's working.
Were you earning some money at the time?
No.
You were free concerts?
No. As long as we played music, that was it. That was fine.
That was enough.
That was enough.
Because it's easy for parents to accept if Otisaya 20 rand.
If you come back home with something.
With something.
And they feel, okay, this is work.
But there was none of that.
Yeah, none of that. They had to live with it.
Sure, you're brave. No child today will get away with that.
Nah, I know.
Or you don't go to school. You're just gonna
you just go to bank these things and then
and play
and not even get paid.
What are you doing?
So for years, I would say maybe we played maybe 10 years.
Wow.
Just doing this thing and then not getting money.
Jeez, that's a long time.
You would get a couple of rand here and there, and then
high heels, just so you look cool. You're basically reinvesting in the business.
Yeah, reinvesting, and then do your hair and stuff like that, and then
Do you know, and 10 years passes, but you stay consistent. What kept you guys so strong? Because it's not easy as much,
It was just a passion for music.
Yeah.
It was just a passion. We saw something that nobody saw.
And the friendship stayed strong.
And Moro Night was like so vivid, a clear picture. We just knew who we were.
Yeah.
And we wanted it that way, and it had to be.
It's interesting because really what you're saying, you're talking about not giving up, irrespective.
Yes.
And you just kept on going because you saw the bigger picture where nobody else saw it.
Absolutely. You feel, if you set your eyes on something, and even if no one sees it, as long as you see it,
it's good enough.
It's good enough to keep you going.
Yeah.
If money or no money.
Didn't you at any point of that entire process think, when you see, because life is such an easy thing, those that finished matric now are going to universities.
Yeah.
And it's easy for you to compare yourself. They finished at university, they have jobs, they wear ties and all.
Yes,
Didn't you at some point say, gents, DS kakti. Look at so and so.
For me, I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I could see them doing all these things, but for me it didn't matter really.
Wow.
I never for 1 minute wished that I could change back go back in time. No,
and change it.
No. I was always content with what it was.
That's interesting,
Yeah.
And the big break. There must be a big break at some point. That says, gents, this thing is really working. What song was it? It's always music. It's always a specific song.
It had to be a song. The first one that actually made a big difference in our lives was the song called Harari.
Yeah. Tell us why that song worked so well. And because I think the story has to do with the performance somewhere in Rhodesia, in Zimbabwe at the time.
Yes. We were doing a tour of Rhodesia at the time.
Yeah.
And we were in this club called Mutanga nightclub in Harare.
Yeah.
In Highfields.
Okay.
As we were playing, we ran out of the program. We did all our program and we ran out of songs. And people were still dancing and people were still having a good time.
You could have repeated the repertoire.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that.
You could have started from the same song. Wow.
So, because we could naturally just jam together easily.
Yeah.
Because we were so used to one another.
Yeah.
You
can start a melody and then he joins.
And then and then it ends up as a song. That's what happened with Harari. The song Harari. We were on stage and we just started jam. And then we played this song, I think for like, it could have been even 30 minutes.
Wow, the same melody. It just keeps going.
No, it just kept developing.
Oh, as you're going, another one is another.
Yeah, and then it just keeps. We just keep going other things, and then it's building up, and people are dancing, and people are going crazy.
Wow!
And when you finish this long song, people are still want some more of it.
We want more, and it's been playing for 30 minutes. That's interesting. And they were hearing it for the first time.
They were hearing it for the first time. We also heard it for the first time that night. If you listen to that song, the synthesizers, we also introduced synthesizers in this country.
Yes.
The synthesizer that was being played on that thing there is crazy.
Interesting. The part of the synthesizer is such an interesting part of your life story because you seem to have done more than just synthesizers. I think just technology, musical technology, was something that you were obsessed about as well.
Absolutely, yes.
Because I realized that every time either I see an interview you've done or somebody speak of you, they say, hey, Daito, he brought this thing here. Nobody played these instruments. Mm-hmm, what instruments are these, and who introduced you to them? How did you find out about them?
I'll talk about me in that case. I was always very intrigued with new sounds and finding new ways of expression musically. Yeah. And anything that was new and different, sounding new and different in music, I was definitely in it. I was going for it. I was buying synthesizers, buying anything which had to do with sound and music and everything all the time.
Wow. Your curiosity, you couldn't stop yourself.
Absolutely. And because I found myself discovering so many things out of that.
The politics of the time are an integral part of the story of your life because we're existing in an apartheid era. Movement wasn't as easy. I know the story that you tell makes it sound like you could do anything and be anywhere, but you couldn't. Anything that stands out to you about that time in relation to your life and your life story, your journey? What do you remember about that time?
That was the most difficult time because that was the time when the oppression was on black people. We couldn't do anything. Our movement was restricted.
Is it the 60s or the 70s?
I think
during the Harari.
I think the late 60s.
Yeah.
I think the late 60s.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Our movement was restricted at the time. They wouldn't, if you live in Deep Kloof.
In Soweto,
and you go and visit Hot Sticks in Orlando West and you sleep over there.
Yeah.
And the cops find you there in the middle of the night. They will wake you up and they'll go and lock you up.
For what? For what?
For sleeping at the wrong place.
Sleeping at home.
Yeah, you're supposed to be found at any time when you are wanted at a certain address. If you change that address for any reason whatsoever, you have to go and get a permit. You have to apply for a permit. And the Boma Jageja, the blackjacks, the municipal police.
Yes.
They would if they found you in an area where you don't belong, they had the right to take you to the police station.
Which is why checking a pass was such an important part because it held your information.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
And what are you doing here?
Where do you belong? And they have to know where to find you.
Yeah. And what are you doing here?
Yeah. If it's a certain time, certain hours, you're not supposed to be in this area at that time. For instance, we're not allowed to be in Johannesburg City after 6.
Yes. Have you ever violated that one?
We have.
Did you pay the price?
Yes. No. Unfortunately, we escaped quite a lot. We were fortunate not to be found.
Yeah.
To be found out. But if you were found out, if they did find you out, they would lock you up. For instance, there was even a time when, because of the fame of the Beaters, some white clubs wanted us to play in their areas, like in Rosebank or wherever.
And it was illegal.
Yeah, it was illegal, but we would still We would still do it.
Find a way around.
We would find a way. And when I don't know, they would deal with the police. When the police arrive, then the nightclub owner will deal with them. I don't know in what way.
Yeah.
But they would deal with them. And for that reason, we will be able to probably drive back home safely as well, and then go and be locked up again at your house.
Amazing. Did it affect your conscience? Because it's, we talk of the likes of Brahu, who took it personal. This problem. There's many of them from Tate Katsi, Semenya, who took all of this too personal. Did it affect the way you saw the world at any point? Because you needed to be free. As musicians,
absolutely.
You want to be anywhere.
Yes.
Did that affect you in any way?
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
it did in a big way. In a big way, because we were playing music that was international. That was our music was world music.
Yeah,
you know. And our music. If you listen to that song, that very song, would be appreciated anywhere in the world.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, our music was like that, and we knew that we're universal. We could go anywhere and do this. So it really, we felt locked up and we felt like stifled.
Yeah.
And also the facilities where we were making these records, even there, it was in the white areas. You could be there. We could only record at lunchtime.
When it was, you were allowed to do it.
Yeah, you're allowed to, when the studio is not busy, 1 o'clock, between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, when everybody goes for lunch.
So you'll do it
then
quickly.
You must quickly go into the studio and record. That was one other reason why I invested in a studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you seem to be one of the guys who invested in a studio, Kokasi, very early on.
The guy that was selling, the salesman that was selling these recording studios when they arrived in the country, he told me I was the first guy to buy.
Wow, listen to that.
Yeah.
You were the first guy to buy these synthesizers.
Oh, the studio equipment.
Yeah.
To be able to take home, because all recording studios were owned by big companies like Gallo Records, EMI, RPM, they were owned by companies, not by individuals. So when these studios came, I got very excited because I knew my freedom has arrived.
So when we talk about home studios now, you are easily the first guy to have one in the country.
Absolutely, that's what they told me.
Yes, once the stuff came off the ship, you were the first to buy.
That guy said, "No, we are the only people that are selling this stuff here,
and you're the first guy.
You are the first guy." He phoned me, said, "Hey, come and have a look at this arm."
Yeah,
and then I went and I found these things, and I said, "Wow, can I really do this by myself at home?" He said, "Yes." "Do you have the money to pay?" I took out my last money, whatever I had.
Yes.
I said, "I'm buying this." I took it home.
And then I guess, if you compare the prices, they were relatively cheap, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
But expensive for the time.
Yes, for the time it was expensive. Yeah, absolutely.
And now you have a studio at home. That clearly must move you to producing more music.
Absolutely. It was convenient because I could work anytime, not only during lunchtime.
Yes.
I could sit in the studio in the evening, work the whole night in my own studio. Actually, that was a big problem after buying that, because now in the house,
there was noise.
My wife, my family would be in the house and I'll be outside I had a room for the studio.
Yeah,
I'd be in the studio and I'll stay there.
Until wee hours of the morning.
And then until my wife comes at like 4 o'clock in the morning. "Hey, aren't you going to sleep?"
The noise and how, aren't you coming back?
No, it wasn't noisy. Noisy, yeah.
Wow. Any song that you remember from that studio? I don't imagine you'd remember the first song, because that surely can't be easy to remember.
Yeah.
But any of the music that you remember from that home studio?
One song that came out of that studio and really did something was the song Bambo Wango, You Are the One.
Yes.
That song, I did it during Christmas time, during the Christmas holidays, December. I did it at home and I thought, wow, I love it. And in January, I said, let me go play this at Gallo.
Yeah.
I took it to Gallo and I played it to the guys, and they listened. They said, "Wow, yes."
You got something here.
Yeah, and they were just about to go to Medium in France at this conference where they select music that they want. Record companies meet there every year.
Yeah.
In January to select music that they want to release in their countries. So they are from America, from everywhere. So they said, okay, he said, this guy, Ivo Habiga, says to me, okay, give me that song. I want to take it with me. So he took it there. And when he was there, the very first few days, he calls me from France.
Yeah.
He says,
this Bambo Wango thing is working.
Everyone is loving your song. There are so many deals that I'm signing here.
Jeez.
You know, so he was signing I think Emergency Records in the USA at the time, and I think some in Celluloid in France, and then Spain, Portugal, Germany, Europe, a lot of places, and USA. And
I hear the song was played by some USA radio station, but not for long.
WBLS Stereo.
Yeah.
That's the station was called WBLS Stereo.
Were they playing it as an African song or just as a song that sounds good?
I understand that radio station because Sis Miriam Ulam Fonela. She phoned me from US. She got hold of my number and she called me at my house. Mfana, your song is playing here on a radio station that ebapalang the mainstream.
Wow, pop.
Yeah, ebapalang the mainstream.
You were played with everybody else.
And Harari play listed.
Char. But at this stage of your career, you were not with Harari anymore, isn't it? When you did the song.
Yes, when I did that song, I was no longer with Harari.
Yes. But the time of Harari, how long? That lasted long. That lasted a good 15 to 20 years.
Harari's lifespan was quite long.
It was quite long. And it produced a lot of songs that people enjoyed for a very long time.
Absolutely, yes.
And also, your international performances, where did it take you? Besides Harari itself? Because the name Harari, from the Beaters, the name changed to Harari, inspired by where you were when you were performing the song.
Yes.
Where else did it take you, this Harari movement?
Harari was also loved, worldwide. So our music, we recorded, we did an album at A&M Studios. Actually, the album was recorded here in South Africa, but then we had to mix it at A&M Studio.
Yeah, where in the US.
In the US, in Los Angeles.
Hey, they took you serious, most. They took you serious. They took you to America. They took you serious, or bring those guys here. Jeez.
Yeah. So we were there, and So that song. The Harari was also. We were in the charts I remember. I don't know which charts it was, but it was the top 100, one of the top 100s of Billboard. And we were in that with Harari. Yeah, with a song called, I think it was Party or Give, one of the two songs.
Give remains a hit till today. I'm sure you know that.
Yes.
Give is ridiculous.
People still listen to that today and they say, wow. You know?
No, Give will be a hit forever. Do you know those songs that, should we ever have to leave this planet and we take some stuff with us and they say, don't take too much. That song will be part of our luggage.
Absolutely.
No, because you made a hit. Do you sometimes say, hey, that's my song there. Does it make you feel? Because I would feel very proud. It's like Serena Williams' dad when she wins, and the dad's like, "That's my daughter." So how do you feel about these songs when you hear them playing anywhere?
Yeah, it's just an amazing feeling. It just brings nostalgia.
Yeah.
Every time you hear it, you think of all the things that you can remember when the songs were being played, especially in the studio when the song was being recorded, that particular song there.
Yeah.
How it happened, it was that, we rehearsed that song. Actually, it was as we were rehearsing the album, I think it was called Harari Rock Album.
Okay.
We rehearsed so many songs and they were all like happening, but they were a little bit complicated because we worked on them too much.
Okay.
And
you were
then
too musical.
We became musical.
Yeah.
But then came this song, which was the last song that we were rehearsing. And we didn't pay too much attention to it.
Wow.
And then we were just playing it casually.
Yes.
As we normally would do as we were rehearsing, and we did it. And Sipho was singing it.
Yeah.
Sipho Mabuse.
So he's leading
he was doing the lead vocal.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
doing the lead vocal on this, and we were at Sadbell Studios, and it was in the evening. So I remember I was sitting there, and we listened to this song, and it sounded amazing in the speakers. And oh my God! Of all the songs that we were recording, you mean this one?
The one we didn't take serious.
The one we didn't take seriously.
Wow.
Oh, that sounded wrong. You are rock. and then Funky says now, he suddenly, in the studio, he suddenly decides, no man, let me sing this song.
Yes. So it did at the time. It didn't have words.
No, Sipho had already.
Oh, had already written the words.
Had already sung it. Even.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Funky.
Yeah. Sipho
Yes.
says, Funky inke mavana.
Yeah.
Funky goes behind the microphone, and he stood there. Believe me, this was a one take.
Wow.
That take there is the first and the last
one. And the only take.
And the one and only.
What a time, eh? Bro, what you guys have done, it's amazing because you form part of such an important part of our history. Because there are people who remember where they were when they heard the song for the first time. Or it reminds them on when they used to party and dance.
Many people say to me, you see, meet my wife here, she fell in love with me when we listened to your song.
And now we're married with kids.
And now we're married and then we're a family.
Wow. All because of Give.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did it change the direction or the size of how Harari was seen at that time? Because this song, I'm sure it was an instant hit.
Yes, that song changed the size in a big way. I think it went straight to maybe double platinum or something like that. It was massive.
Yeah.
It was big. In the first week, we went gold. In the first week of release, we went gold.
Already?
Yeah.
And that changes a lot in a person's life.
You listen to the lyrics there.
Yeah.
It is actually a gospel song.
Okay. Break it down for us. Because we think we were partying.
Yeah, I know you think so. But listen to the words.
Yeah.
But it's so true. Those words will be always be applicable.
Yeah.
Because in Christianity, we are encouraged to give because God will give you more.
That's it.
You love your neighbor and you go all out for your neighbor.
Absolutely.
And God will bless you.
Yeah.
So if you listen to the lyrics in that song, you'll always hear this message.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a classic.
And I get Jerusalem of that time.
Of that time, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
And what I like about songs like this, is that they remain hits forever and ever. And,
yes.
And how that happens, you don't even know.
You don't even know how it happens.
Jeez. So you have one of those.
Yes.
Actually, not even one. You probably have a lot, including the one we played, Bambo Wango. It's also a big song in your repertoire.
Yes, absolutely.
With the growth of Harari, surely must come some form of responsibility. And the responsibility politically, didn't any of the guys, the political guys, so to speak, say, hey, boys, you need to start telling the right messages, or you need to start helping with the movement, because we couldn't ignore apartheid, and musicians had an audience. Did you find a bit of pressure from that, or anyone saying you need to come help here?
No, we did not find pressure.
Yeah.
We always felt that we were part of the struggle.
Okay.
We always knew that we had to stand up and use music to free people's, because first of all, if you free a person, you free their spirit.
That's true.
So we felt that musically we can reach their spirit. So our music would bring about that energy in your mind, in you, to do more, to get out of the shell, So hence people were dancing and all of that, and and we felt very strongly about making music that makes people dance.
That's it. Yes, let the spirit be free.
Absolutely.
What led to the decision to part ways as Harari after such a successful career?
No, I will not tell that one.
Lil, you're not going to tell us or Lil. Mar Lil.
No, we never fought.
Really? It was just...
There was no fight.
But the details...
You see, I tell you, we still talk, even today.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was talking to Sipo yesterday. Yes. He phoned me yesterday. We was making a joke about something of that time. Yesterday.
Listen to this.
Just yesterday. No. I know there was no fight. There was never a fight between us.
Yeah.
There is this thing that musically people grow and they begin to produce more. And as you create more and more and more, you need to find space for this stuff.
That's true.
And
the room is no longer big enough.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think that's what naturally happened.
That's true
with us.
Yeah, it was a Michael Jackson moment with the Jackson 5. Like,
yes,
guys, I have to go.
Yeah, we had to all accept that.
Yeah. I want to talk about the fashion because you are, without a doubt, some of the coolest people in the world. You go down in history as the coolest people we've ever seen on TV. And being cool, you have to be brave if you want to be cool.
Brave. Absolutely.
And you were brave.
Absolutely brave.
It's what inspired that look, because you had the tightest pants, you had the longest hair, you did it all.
We were very brave, more especially, if you walk around in Soweto looking strange, people will just make all sorts of comments to bring you down, most of the time to bring you down.
So you accept that you look strange?
Yes, absolutely.
Whose style are you trying to emulate? Who are you looking up to?
I don't think we're trying to emulate anyone.
Yeah.
We're just creative, and sometimes you feel like, I'll tell you what, this thing begins in the spirit. If you feel free yourself, you free yourself. Before you can free somebody else, you have to begin within.
Absolutely.
So we started to have that, to be free, to be out of apartheid and all of that thing.
Even though you were stuck in it, but the mind.
That's why we could have been arrested many times because we could have been caught doing all these things that we were supposed to do. Including the Immorality Act thing, where they were saying, no, white people will only have to do with whites and blacks will, you cannot marry a white woman and stuff like that.
Yeah. You cannot
with
mix.
With us, there was no such thing in existence. As young people, before we got married.
Jeez, you were free.
Yeah.
You were free long before 1994.
We were free.
Your fashion will go down in history in South Africa because you inspired Umoja, Umoja. Which part of it? Because clearly you played a role in all of that as well.
Yes. Umoja was my concept.
Yeah.
After leaving Harari, after leaving Harari,
after Bambo Wango.
After Bambo Wango.
Yeah.
Then Gallo said to me, "Hey, go and record something in the US." we'll book you a studio where you want to go. And I decided to go.
Yeah.
And that's when I started this. They said, okay, I did not have a band at the time.
Okay. You were just one guy.
But because I recorded my music single-handedly in my studio, so I knew everything, how it sounds. And they also heard it. They said, okay, you'll get musicians in the States. So I got hold of some musicians, very good musicians in the States. I remember Stevie Wonder, the guy was playing drums for Stevie Wonder at one stage.
Yeah.
Was my drummer there, and there was one guy also who used to play with some of the big names, and they were keyboard players and so on and so on.
They just put this team for you together.
I remember Lionel Richie walked into my session there, and he listened to the stuff. He said, "Hey, I think they were doing Soul Train."
Yeah.
And he heard the music from the Passage.
Okay.
And he said. He walked in to listen to what was happening inside, and we were excited to see him.
Hey, he's a big star.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
And he sat down with us, and he says, "I love your music. Your music is great. If you need any musicians, I can
hook you up.
I can pay somebody to work with you for nothing."
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yes.
Yeah, he gave us a guy called Todd Cochrane. No, Howard Kenny.
Yeah.
Howard Kenny.
What instrument was he playing?
Howard Kenny was a backup singer.
Yeah.
He said, "Okay, I'll give you can work with Howard Kenny. I'll
fund
sort him out.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll sort it out."
Yeah.
And we worked with him. And I did not have a band at the time, so I only had this one guy, Donovan Knox.
Okay.
From Devon, who was a very good singer, and he looked very interested in doing music professionally.
Yeah.
And I loved his passion.
Yes.
So I said, I can work with him.
Jeez.
So I was with him there, and everybody else was an American musician. And,
amazing.
So we recorded a song called Brown Sugar.
Did you complete a project there? Or
We actually completed an album there, yeah.
What album is that, Alec? I need to find it.
Brown Sugar?
Yeah?
Yeah, Brown Sugar.
Is there a song in particular that stands out?
No, there was a song called Brown Sugar.
Yeah.
It was not very popular in South Africa. I think it became a little bit too sophisticated when we recorded that.
In America.
But you'll probably listen to it now and probably like it now.
Are they Alec tracks or how are they? Was it part of a band?
It was Umoja.
Umoja.
Very first Umoja album.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do you think people were so generous with this? Was it the music or just the general sentiment that a lot of people, I don't know if we're still the same, we have when we meet Africans, so to speak. In America, they would just say, "Hey, man, you're a brother."
Yes. No, I mean, these guys were Americans, I think they if they knew that we were from South Africa, I think it would be more the kind of thing like, we know that in Africa, black people are being black people are being oppressed. Maybe something like that. I don't know.
The sentiment that comes with that.
There could have been many reasons why they decided to do that.
But they just threw everything at you.
Yeah. Yes.
So this Umoja project, there was no Umoja really, as we know it.
No.
As we know it.
No. Actually, it developed after that because when I came back here,
with a full project,
with a project recorded already,
yes,
then I met a whole. Then I had to put together Umoja,
band, yes,
and Donovan Knox came with Chico Silotwala.
Okay.
He said, "Okay, percussion." And then we got hold of Godfrey Mgcina. Is a very amazing drummer.
Yeah.
We got hold of Don Laka.
Don Laka
to play keyboards.
Yes.
And
so you were just
before I left, I actually also always wanted to work with Don Laka because I knew him when I was still with Harari, and I really, really wanted to work with him.
You loved what he does.
He was classically trained, so he was playing very nice piano for me, and I thought, wow, this guy.
I should get this guy.
So I got a chance to work with him then. Yeah.
Wow.
And then that's how we put together the first batch of Umoja. Yeah.
And Umoja became a big thing.
That's the crazy band that we're talking about, because our outfits and
the
our
fashion got
performance,
crazier.
Our performance, everything was like crazy.
And it was the era now, slowly becoming the era of music videos. Because we remember Umoja on TV with all those. I remember Don Lager holding this keyboard.
Yes.
I remember that.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember that keyboard. Because it was the first time we saw things like that.
Things like that,
you
yeah.
could hold a keyboard like this.
Yeah, and drums with like with rubber and
Yes.
electric drums and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it gave rise to a lot of great careers. Not that their careers were not necessarily going anywhere, because Don Lager's career, we all know it.
Yes,
he's one of the founding fathers of Kwaito music,
of Kalawa Jasmine.
Kalawa Jasmine, which essentially is Kwaito.
Yes.
And we know what Chico has gone on to do, with Brenda and his own music as well.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
And that was literally where their careers became something.
Everybody it was just everything sprouted out of that.
Wow.
So there was a time when I sat back and I was thinking, hey, all these superstars around me, they've worked with me before. How fortunate can I be? Wow. All these guys, CJB.
Yes. What did you do with CJB?
And Neoma Parker was also part of Umoja at one stage.
Really?
Yeah.
He seemed like he walked in and out, though.
Yes, he did stay for a while, and then
as a vocalist.
As a vocalist, yeah. And a keyboard player.
Okay.
Yeah, no, especially a keyboard player. He used to play keyboards.
Because he gone on to become a superstar.
Yes.
CJB.
Yeah, Sijaban, yeah.
Wow. Your career is actually quite fascinating, because you talk of Harari. As the Beaters has been very successful.
Yes.
Harari, very successful. And now Umoja. Image and Umoja. Clarify that for me.
Then we had this gentleman from Galo who was managing us.
Okay.
And then at one stage he left Galo. He went to work for another record company.
Yeah.
And I think he recruited all my guys. He said, okay, all the Umoja guys, because he was our manager, it was easy for him to do that.
Yeah,
anyway,
call them.
no bad feelings, no bad feelings, but he actually just behind my back took everybody.
Hey, my daughter.
Yeah, and they all went with him to this new record company to start. That
Image.
was Image, and then that was the beginning of another good thing, because out of that came Chico.
Yes.
As
okay.
Chico, yeah.
Yes.
Out of the same label.
As a solo artist.
Yeah. Then out of that he came out.
Yes.
And that's how it was.
You don't seem to be holding any grudges now, but did it sit badly with you at the time?
Never, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at all. I remember not everyone. I don't even remember having a nightmare
issues,
about it.
Yeah.
No, nothing at all. Nothing.
How did you see it though? As just a natural evolution of this process?
I could accept that, because even me myself, when I had to develop myself, I had to
leave other people.
Yeah, I had to leave. It was painful.
Yeah.
Imagine people that you grew up with. I mean, with Harari, with Hot Sticks and I. Yeah. We were like brothers sleeping. Actually, we would sleep on that couch tonight.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning, and like family.
Yeah.
Like family, basically. So it's hard,
you were there when Brasipo used to be a gymnast. He used to work out, that man
all the time.
He used to run.
He used to love doing that. He used to love doing that.
He speaks of that quite a bit.
Yeah, the skipping rope.
Gee, and then Image became. So you were not part of Image, and I'll tell you why.
No, I wasn't.
I'll tell you why it's confusing for some of us, because it was the same members that we saw Umoja, and the name change is quite small.
Yeah, a little bit, and then came about Image. instead
From
of
Umoja to Image.
yeah.
We're thinking maybe it's a rebranding, nothing serious. And you were not even part of Umoja.
No, I was not. Of Image.
Of Image, rather.
Yeah.
How many projects did you do with Umoja?
Umoja, I think, I don't know. I have no idea. I think
But
it's probably.
It's not just one.
It's about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 to 4 albums that I did as Umoja.
And a very successful band.
Very, very successful band. Very successful band. I remember there was a song that we used to play on stage, and there would be so much drama, and we would switch off the lights, and then and then we switch on the strobe lights, and then we're doing the dance, like we are robots, Yeah, we would do. And at the time, that thing was like still
new.
Yeah, very new, and people would be so amazed. They love the song because of that.
Yeah,
and
wow.
Yeah, and we would have pump smoke onto the stage, and
you were ahead
when you
yourself.
look at that lightning, and it's like lightning, and you see us there. It really looked amazing.
Do you know, every time I see some of your work, whether it's online or you immediately stand out as a guy who was ahead of himself. Even only this video where you're on top of a camel. I don't know if you even remember that.
Yes, I do.
Where was that? Because we don't have the camela in South Africa.
That was in Namibia.
Was it a video production?
No. We were touring Namibia, but we had a cameraman who came along with us.
Yes.
And he was taking shots all the time.
Of everything, pretty much.
Of everything that we were doing. That's just documenting. Yeah, and we stayed there for like a while.
And there's a picture of you somewhere with a Rolls Royce.
Oh, yes.
You were way ahead.
Yeah.
I have never touched a Rolls Royce, and this is 2021. That was in the 70s or 60s. You had a Rolls Royce.
There was a Rolls Royce. No, it wasn't ours.
Well, of course it wasn't.
I know. A lot of people could have thought, "Hey, these guys have made it. They have made it." But that's the impression we wanted to create.
Of course, yeah. But did you, relative to the average black South African at the time, would you consider that you actually did make it at that time, if you were to compare yourself with your peers who had gone to university? Would you say that about that time, or we were rock stars?
Yeah, at the time, then our peers who had gone to the university were now our fans, because they were still supporting us, because most of them were supporting us even at school.
Yeah,
they are the guys who actually made us. Yeah. So they were even more proud because they had so much more information about us. They knew us.
We know where they started.
We know. When they started, we were not. When they were playing that song.
We were there.
We know them. We know them.
What happens beyond when Image becomes, and then you now take a detour? What happens to your career? What do you start doing?
At that time, I remember I had a tour to do of Lesotho.
Okay.
And everything happened just so quickly and unexpectedly. And I thought, I have to do something here. And people suggested, hey, so-and-so.
Putting another band
together,
Yes.
And then I got these guys who were already a band who were used to playing together. They were called Ashadu.
Okay.
In Bloemfontein. And I immediately sent for them to come.
Yeah.
And they lived with me in my house. Yeah. And we became a band there.
Started learning the music.
They started learning the music quickly. They rehearsed. They were brilliant guys also.
Yeah.
And the music came together and they loved it. And there were new elements introduced as well, because everyone is an individual. They come up with their own new talents.
Of course.
And everything was just going up and getting better. So, Then that was another
wing
phase of Umoja at the time. And
so Umoja,
which was exciting.
Umoja remix, because this is a new Umoja.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Did this new Umoja create a brand new album at all, or was it just performing old music by the original Umoja, so to speak?
I actually recorded one one album with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Because before that, I would do the music by myself,
Yes.
and then get people to play along with me.
Of course, yeah.
But in that case, during their Umoja stint, they actually worked with me in the studio.
Okay.
Very talented singers.
Yeah.
And I remember Tony Lada, the late.
Jeez.
He was such a singer.
Yeah.
He scared so many big professionals when he got on stage. He would get carried away, and he was like singing from the spirit, deep down from the spirit.
Yeah.
And when he gets lost on stage, everybody does.
When the spirit moves you, eh?
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody goes with him. And sometimes I would have to really pick up when I have to come in after him.
Because now he's here.
He pitches it so high.
That you have to try as best as you can.
And I have to catch up. Now, fortunately, I'm a bit more famous than him.
You can carry it. It's like, I'll manage. Wow.
Yeah.
What a time. And that lasted a while, it seems.
Yes.
Because then essentially you became Umoja without the guys.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. And what happens? Because your music continues. You haven't stopped.
I haven't stopped.
Please. You haven't stopped. And we're having this conversation now. Some of your work has been put on vinyl by brand new people who decided, let's do this.
Let's do this again. Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of my stuff is going on to vinyl. Guys are approaching me, hey, can we release this internationally? And on vinyl, there's a big market growing up, vinyl market, and let's bring your stuff as it is. Don't even touch it. Don't even go back into the studio and try and make it up. We want it as raw as it was. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that's happening right now. Yeah.
But you continue to make music with different people. What happens between Umoja time and now? Because that's not a small amount of time. We're almost making a reference to over 20 years.
Absolutely.
How do you keep doing music, and with whom are you working with?
Yeah, I'll tell you, there was a long, dry, like kind of desert time, that I had to do.
Yeah.
When new trends were coming in and people were getting focused to this trend, that trend, this dance, that dance.
Is it the Kwaito trend lasted a long time?
Yes. When that happened, there was a lull.
Yes.
But not to our fans. Our old fans would keep on supporting and buying stuff buying stuff.
Yeah.
So the trend now lately, what I see is that my old music is picking up afresh.
Yeah.
There are now younger people who are hearing this music probably because my father used to play this in the house, and I'm familiar with it,
the melodies,
and I like it.
Yes.
Or just maybe it's interesting. It's what kind of music is this, And you see, for instance, I look at the young people at my house. My grandchildren, I look at them and they say they listen to my music now. The other day, everybody came. They say, hey, Papa, they call me Papa.
Yeah.
Papa, come here. This song Genesis, and they play Genesis. They say, what was happening here? And I tell them, and they say, wow, this is just.
They're suddenly getting fascinated.
They love it. They say, this is great.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's so the music is actually it's classic.
Yes.
It's very classic,
and it's making a comeback.
Yes, most of it. I believe that it will stay for a long time.
Yeah.
I believe that kind of music because I believe that it did not come from just me. I believe that. That music comes from somewhere else because I also, when I recorded the music, I also had it somewhere.
Yes,
I had it somewhere in I thought in my spirit.
Yeah.
So then I put it on wax, and then and then people love it.
They enjoyed it.
So from the superior source where that music came, I applaud. I applaud that superior source because
you go ahead. Yeah, complete your thought.
Yeah. I'm just saying that it is dead.
Do you consider yourself merely a vessel, a pipe, a channel.
Yes, absolutely.
That had to deliver this thing. And I asked this question because you seem like you didn't have a choice on the matter from an early age.
Yes.
You unfortunately, all your stars were aligned so well, so perfectly. Parents didn't stop you. They could have. And they just opened the way and said, let him go do what he wants.
You know what I mean? Exactly as you put it.
Yeah.
Just like that. That's what happened.
Yeah.
You see, everything was just pre-arranged. And I had to just walk in the path. And wherever I went, it will open up. It will just open up for me to keep going.
It wasn't very difficult.
Yeah, that's how it is. And that's not only, it's not only with me.
Yes.
It's with all of us.
That's true.
You too.
Yeah.
You are where you are because of that. So it's something that we all have to take comfort in and say, why should I be afraid?
Yeah.
I did not bring myself to where I am.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So you should not be afraid. You should remain confident
and carry on. Because your purpose is much greater than you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you find that as human, we tend to, what you're talking about, either it's fear or whatever other reason that stops us. Do you find that that's the reason why a lot of us possibly will end up living very unhappy lives?
Yeah. Fear is a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
If you fear anything, it's because you are not confident of anything. So the moment you begin to have confidence in how you became how you became and how you are, and the complexity of who you are, and you realize the power that is therein, then you begin to ease. Yeah. You begin to relax your shoulders down and you chill.
It's not easy though. It's not easy though to realize those things, is it?
No, if you take comfort in it.
Yeah.
Because you can easily ignore that and concentrate on your problem. You can easily just overlook all of that and just go for the problem. Hey, what am I going to do, man, about this issue?
Yeah.
And it's all on you put it all on your shoulders, as though you have always done everything from your shoulders.
And you haven't.
And no.
There's this wisdom that you carry. It doesn't sound like it's something that you've recently found. It feels like it's something that has driven you for a long time. Actually,
I discovered that from day to day, as every day I remember, I uncover new ground. I find out, okay, this is what happens, and I believe that is what keeps it all interesting. Our lives, it's to keep unfolding new things.
True,
and I believe that is the journey that we're enjoying, that which we call life. Because if without it, it's all very bland.
That's true.
It's nothing, absolutely. You know. Yeah.
And no one wants to live a bland life.
No,
that means nothing.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
I say this because there's a line I read somewhere. I will not say it word for word, but it speaks of how we are still children, even in our 40s and 50s.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It never stops.
Yeah, because the knowledge that we discover, sometimes it comes fairly late in our lives.
It does.
Yeah.
And
that's why they say grandparents are always the best people to raise kids.
Yes.
Because they are now parents.
Absolutely. Now we understand this.
Yeah. You're not young. However, God has blessed you with good genes. You are in your 70s.
I'm in my 70s, yes.
And you look like you're in your 45s.
No.
God has blessed you with good genes. Are you aware that you still look relatively young?
A lot of people do say this.
What do you say?
I feel young.
Okay.
I feel young.
Yes.
I feel a lot of energy. When I walk, a lot of people still say, hey, uzamaya fast, man. Hey,
Yes.
slow down. No?
Yes. And
Because
then,
you know, like,
yeah.
you know, I feel good. Yeah.
What do you think is the source of that? That youth, you know, which drink have you taken? How do you continue to feel and look this young?
It's in the spirit.
Yeah.
It's in the spirit. It's not physical. It's not as much physical as some people make it out to be. That, yeah, go gymming,
Yes.
and then it's actually deeper than that, because if it's from the spirit, then it's the absolute. You know what I mean? It's the highest.
So the phrase
Source of-
"Kugo Tandai" is exactly that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to be old, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you can see me dance.
You move like you're 50, eh? Wow.
No, I'm kidding.
Do we anticipate a new music coming from you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's still melodies in your head.
That never stops.
Does it preoccupy you sometimes? Does it bother your?
It does bother me quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does bother me. Fortunately, I have a place where I can go and
You have an outlet.
I have an outlet for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
But
you must have a lot of stuff
I
recorded.
create a lot of music every day, non-stop. I keep getting new ideas. And so another thing is, there is a roof that one can set for oneself. You can say, for instance, now I've reached closing time.
I'm done.
I'm done now, and I'm retired, and it's finished. I'm just waiting for the
Lord to take you.
For the Lord to call me.
Yeah.
And there's a time when you say, I'll just keep going. I'll see where I end up.
I don't know where it'll be.
Exactly. Yeah. So music to me keeps, when I listen to a song, any song, because I love all kinds of music. Every kind of music I love. So when I hear a song, I always get inspired, and I always want to go and do my own version of what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And I know my interpretation is gonna be different. It's never gonna be the same.
So it won't be the same song at all.
It's not gonna be the same song.
Yeah.
And it's gonna keep changing and changing, because when that radio starts playing in my head, then I'm hearing new things, different things.
Yeah.
Then I'm doing what that radio is doing in my head.
We can't wait to hear what you've done in the past however many years. And I hope that you will bless us with that music sooner than later.
You see, as you were asking me about the outlet, and I am also thinking about the outlet. I'm thinking about is it necessary that I should release this music so that people can hear it, and maybe they will adapt to it, maybe they won't like it, maybe they won't, maybe there will be a fashion, because people are controlled by fashion.
Absolutely.
So I think I'm going to put it out. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it out. It's not going to be an album. It will probably be albums. Lots of albums.
Yeah.
And it will just be there. And whoever wants to access it, they will access it. And fortunately, the technology is so good that, you'll put it out and it will be available forever.
It becomes what it becomes.
Absolutely. And whether people take it or they don't take it, some people might not take it now, and then you find that 30 years down the line,
somebody picks up on
it, and then they like it. So for that reason, I believe that I'm going to have to find that outlet to get this stuff out.
Is it, you say it's albums, so it's clearly not one or two songs.
There's so much music. There's so much.
Wow.
And ideas, so much.
What's
and some of it too weird to
I wanted to ask, actually, what style of music are you talking?
That's the thing. Some of the things I don't even, it's just so weird.
It's just
it's just something that you don't expect me to do.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it, and I'm putting it aside, and I'm saying, okay, I'll see what happens.
I'm going to put pressure on you, and allow me. we sometimes we are heading in a particular direction as humanity.
Yes.
And we are oblivious to what's happening. We're just walking on this path, whether it's correct or not. It's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
And it's the people who consider weirdness as something worth trying that change the course of our lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if those people did not exist, we would not branch out and find a new path that probably makes even more sense than the one we are on.
Absolutely.
The pressure with that statement is we are waiting for your weirdness because your weirdness, who knows what it does? We don't know.
Yeah. I released this song for 7 years ago.
Yeah.
This song became popular on radio only. I think, and online, and it was jazz, and it went up to number 1.
Jeez.
In South Africa, in the worldwide charts. I think I was number 30 something.
Okay.
With this song. Nobody knows this song. No, not my fans don't really.
Can
know
we
this
find
song.
it?
My song. It's called Mukiti. Mukiti instrumental.
Let's see.
And now it's been on jazz charts, and then it's now on experimental music charts.
Yes. But you're delaying us here. We're waiting.
Yeah.
We're waiting because the music, the beauty about the music that you make is iconic, and it's not just a fad. It's the type of music that was done by Bobra Ray Piri. It's music that you can't really put it in a box.
Yes, you can't.
You can't say it's that or it's that.
No, that's the thing.
Yes.
That's the interesting part. It's difficult to categorize it.
I don't even know what to call that song.
Yeah, you can't box it anyway. It's just something else.
Yes.
It's just something else.
And it has an appeal, and that's the beauty of this appeal, is because we need those, like the fact that the music that was done by Bobra Ray Stimela is still iconic now, and yet it doesn't have a box. It tells you that we need these type of music.
It has to be there. It has to stay there.
Okay. I'm on radio every day, 12 to 3, and I want to play the type of music that you are likely to deliver to us. And we're saying the sooner we do it, the better.
I'm grateful that there are people like you and that will give us a chance.
Absolutely.
People who are not locked into a period or a time.
No.
People who are moving
or a
on.
genre.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Or a genre.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that there are people like you because you are you're someone who represents a whole lot of other people who are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a legend? How do you see yourself in that regard?
What is the meaning of a legend?
The thing about that phrase is it can be interpreted in many ways. How do you see it? I'll tell you immediately that I think of you as a legend, but I wonder if you think of yourself as one.
No. I am just a simple person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone knows me as a simple person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't look at myself as a star or as someone special or someone who's better than other people in any way whatsoever. I believe that I'm just one of, everyone.
Yes.
I'm just, I don't know how to put it, but I treat everybody the same. And everyone, I treat people the same. It does not matter who you are.
Yeah.
And I love it, and that's who I am.
Do you still have the fashion sense? the
clothing
the unusual
fashion sense.
Fashion sense. Do you still have a little bit of that in you?
I think I'm a bit stale now.
Oh no! Well, you got stale in your later years. I'm stale now, and I'm still young. So you don't do that stuff anymore.
You are like myself. You are like me in a lot of ways, as I see. Because the very fact that we are chatting, you are sitting here chatting.
Yeah.
It means that you understand me and I understand you. So it puts us in the same league.
Geez, to be in the same league with you, I'll take it any day. I'll take it any day.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you made time to talk to us. I look at your career and I'm fascinated by it, by where it's taken you, where it's the opportunities that and the doors that it has opened for other people. Your journey was one of those that a lot of people look back and say, I'm glad I was there. I'm glad I knew that man.
Wow.
Yes, and because the story of Don Laka, when he speaks of you, he speaks with such fascination. Hore, I thought he is something else.
Okay,
and we think he's something else. You know what I mean?
He is.
And that's why I say we appreciate that you made it on this earth in our lifetime. So we don't speak of you as someone that we never met, but we speak of you as someone that we can still sit across the table and have a chat with. And I say thank you very much for your talent. Thank you very much for making us dance. And we hope that you will release all those 100 songs on one album. And you'll call it the biggest album ever.
Biggest album ever?
That's it. Why not, eh?
Thank you very much. I'm very much encouraged. I'll do that.
Yes.
I'll do that. Yeah, you know me, I'm a go-getter.
Let's do it, There's the music. Yes.
Thank you so much.
I know with Prince, he released a lot of songs towards the last days, so to speak, of his life. And because, as people like yourselves,
yes,
you have the access to studios and you have the time and the talent.
Yeah.
And you end up with lots and lots and lots of songs that are just sitting and decided, let's just release the stuff. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're waiting.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I wish you well. You're a star in my world. You're one of the greatest we've ever had. And we're very, very glad that you're still here to share your wisdom with us. Because we've been very unfortunate as a country to have lost so many great icons in the past 5 years. And we're so glad that you are still here. You still have your strides. You still walk like you're 45. And I say thank you to that.
Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to on your program.
Yeah.
And I really, really appreciate your what you are doing for us musicians who believe that we can still be heard, and you actually have encouraged me so much.
I'm glad,
and I thank you for giving me this chance.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Osengang. It's sharp. Thank you again. It's sharp.
King David Studio Podcast.